What is going on, beautiful people? It is your boy Knowledge. Today we're going to be talking about how to turn a $1,000 a month notary side business into a real business. After 10 years of being in the notary business, making multiple seven figures and multiple days making over 10,000 plus in my notary business, I would say that I am more than qualified to show you guys everything that's going on and how to actually free yourself and make some more money in the notary business. So with that being said, if you want to see some real numbers for yourself, there's a free training in the description below. You can go ahead and click on that. There, I'm going to break down the seven-figure notary business, show you some more systems, and get a deeper dive into it so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about, show you how it works, and I'll also pull up the numbers live. So go ahead and click on that free training down in the description below and check it out. With that being said, how do you turn a $1,000 a month notary side hustle into a real business? Now, this is probably one of the most common things that I've gotten asked. I get on TikTok. And all the people that I get on calls with and we're just talking, a lot of you guys make around this amount as well. So how do you actually transition from side hustle into the real business, right? How do you make it real? How do you make it to something that's actually sustainable? So first things first is you got to stop taking these random jobs, right? These random low paying jobs. So I'll go ahead and write that out for you. Go stop. Oops, that was in all bolds. Should be in all bold for you guys. So stop. What was I saying? Stop taking low paying jobs. So these low paying jobs aren't really going to move the needle for you. All it really does is waste your time, right? You need to build around services and clients and schedules that you can actually have on repeat and jobs that are actually paying you out an amount of money that actually makes sense, right? These, if you're driving to somebody's location for these like 10, 15 bucks, that's not the same as going there for $100 to $300. You see what I'm saying? And if you do a lot of these $10 jobs, $5 jobs, you're going to burn yourself out before you actually get the chance to make your business successful. So one of the things I would say is to stop taking those low paying jobs. You're just burning yourself out, making yourself frustrated, and you're not going to get out that $1,000 a month, $1,000 a month bracket that most of you guys might be stuck in. So stop taking those low paying jobs. It's not worth it. You might be thinking, oh, well, it's money. Oh, well, it's money, Knowledge. I just need to get the money. No, don't do that because you're selling yourself short and you're wasting your time. I'd rather you guys put that time into learning more about the notary business, watching some more of my videos, of course, and actually finding better ways to market yourself rather than chilling. It doesn't make any sense. You see what I'm saying? So don't do that. Don't take those low paying jobs. You need a simply weekly revenue goal to actually make sure you're tracking. So I'll say this. You need a weekly revenue goal, right? Your revenue is basically all the money that you made from the business. It's not the net, but it's how much did you make. So if you don't have a goal, it's kind of like being a sailboat in the middle of the ocean with no map. You're just there floating. You don't know what's going on. You just out there like this. You know what I'm saying? Just moving around. But when you at least have a map, like, all right, I know I want to go in this general direction, you can actually start doing the things you need to go into that direction. But if it's just like, I just want to make money in the notary business. Okay, good. Duh. Everybody wants to do that. You know what I'm saying? So what's your goal? Like, what's your starting goal? Do you want to make $4,000 a month? You want to make $5,000 a month? Okay, if that's the case, you need to start breaking it down little by little. Okay, if I want to make $4,000 a month, I need to find a way to make $1,000 a week. How do I make $1,000 a week? But have some sort of plan. Have some sort of goal. Like sometimes when I get on the phone with some of you guys, some of the students, and when you guys first start off, you don't really have a goal. Like, well, I just want to make some money. Well, I just want to leave my job. Duh. Okay, cool. Let's get away from the emotional side of it and let's step into my world, the logical side. Focus. How much do you want to make starting off at least? Okay, cool. This is what you want. Write that number down. Now, all we need to do is direct all of our attention towards getting to that number. That's what we're doing. We're focusing on getting to that number. You need to start right there. That's the only way that you're going to get there. You can't leave it ambiguous. You can't just be like, well, whatever I get, I get. No, you need to have a goal. And that's one of the things that just grinds my gears. You're not here to just make extra money. You need a real target. You need to track your real target each week. So you need to raise your minimum appointment value as well. Whatever your lowest, let me put this down before I do this. Raise your you need to raise your minimum appointment value. So let's say that you sit there and you're looking at all of your services, right? What is your cheapest service, right? If you sit there and you look at what your cheapest service is, chances are you need to go ahead and raise the price on that cheap service, because it's probably something like 25, $50. Go ahead and raise the price. And the reason why that's important is because it's something that when I talk to my business partner, we say it too. You want to raise your bottom line, right? You want to raise your lowest price, so then everything naturally increases as well. So if you have a price of like a $50 job, a 75 and 100, if you move that 50 to 60, now you're just raising your bottom line. Now it's like, okay, now you're starting to creep your prices up there. And that's a safer way to do it. A lot of times when you guys get into business, you don't even know it, but the prices that you're starting off with is way too low. A lot of you guys, your price is way too low. So if you just do that, that's one of the simplest, quickest fixes that you can do to start making some more money and closing that gap and getting closer to where you want to get to, right? One of the things that my coach said to me, like way early on, is when you're charging people, when you're charging people, you charge them less because you might not have that money, right? So you're thinking, oh, it's a lot of money. So one of the easiest ways to do that and actually start charging more money is to creep it up slowly. That's one of the easiest ways you can do it. But my coach always used to say, charge more, charge more, charge more, charge more, charge more. Just charge more. You don't assume that nobody has that money. And if you're coming from a background with me with not that much money, you're assuming like they don't got the money to pay this, but you don't know that. It's arrogant of you to think like, okay, they don't have that money. You don't got the money. You might not have the money, but they probably have the money. And trust me, when I started raising my prices and people still paid it, I was like, oh shoot. It was an epiphany. My mind just blew. I'm like, okay, cool. So it was me that's broke. Everybody else might not be broke. Maybe it's just me that's broke. So I'll turn it back towards me. That's kind of like, that's the point within the story. That was what it was. You need to build a booking system as well, because what I'm starting to see is, not even starting to see, one of the things that I do see a lot with you guys is you don't really have a system. You just answer the phone. It's like, hey, this is blah, blah, notary. And then it's like, you don't, that's it. You're winging it. But if you don't have a system, and if you guys know me from my videos, you know I'm a big system guy. If you have no system, what are you actually doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is that same series, that same process that you're going through each time to get your client? And if you're not going to be remembering that on the phone, if you're not going to be the person to have a script, you at least need to have some sort of virtual booking system that the clients can book through. So if they're not going to speak to you, then they can go in the system and they can book it themselves. One of the problems that I see is notaries don't answer phones. Super common, and it's one of the things that grind my gears the most. So if you're not going to be the type of person that's going to answer your phone, and or you're working so you can't answer the phone during those hours, you need to at least have your online system up to where they can book themselves, and it's going to be shown on your calendar. And that way you know that you have to go out and do these documents, do these notarizations during the time frame that you're available. At least have that up, because you're not going to get to the next level. To get to the next level, each level is a new devil, so they say. So you need to make sure that you have things set in place so that you can get around the next hump, the next hub, the next devil, the next puzzle piece that you have to solve. So this is one of the things that's going to help you move faster. Just have your booking system there. Super important, super easy. One thing I will say too is to track every lead and client. So for me, I'm coming from a marketing background, and I understand that the more data you have, the better. So you need to track every lead. I don't know if it's, I say lead and client. It's like, this lead / client. The reason is you want as much data as you can, because it's giving you different touch points in your business. What do I mean by touch points, knowledge? I don't understand this. Touch points, meaning you're getting little psychographics of your clients. So you know that you always get these type of clients at these times, and they usually happen to be this demographic. These are the type of documents that they always get notarized. When you know stuff like that in your business, it makes it easier to market, because then you know exactly what your customer avatar is. You know that you're the type of business that always gets these type of customers. So when you're doing your marketing, market towards those type of customers, because now you're going to be more inclined to get more of those type of customers. But you wouldn't have that if you don't keep track of it. Most of you guys say, oh, I got my notary journal. You got your notary journal down, and then you're done. You just got a name, and you got a signature and a date. And some, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not enough. It's okay starting off, maybe your first 5 clients. I'm going to be real with you because there's a lot of free systems out there. Maybe your first 5 clients, if you need to write them down in your notary journal, that's perfect. But you also need to have something else where you can track more data from your client so you can keep track of them way easier. And it just makes it more professional. It makes other companies and other people want to work with you as well. You have your stuff together. You know what I mean? Next up, one of the biggest things you got to do is find a way to turn your one-off clients. How do I want to write this? Turn your one-off clients into repeat clients. So how do you do that? There's many ways, but off the top of my head, you need to give them outstanding service and a reason to come back. 2 things right there. Outstanding service, reason to come back. And in order to do that, you have to make sure that why would they want to come back to you? Are you giving them some sort of discount? Are you giving them some sort of discount? Is that what's going to have them come back to you? That can be one of the things. If someone knows that, hey, if I go back to this business, I got a 30% discount waiting, they're more inclined to come back to you. That, and also doing the type of documents that you know that they might need again. Someone that's doing an apostille might need you to do an apostille again for them. Or somebody that's doing fingerprinting might know somebody else that needs a fingerprinting. So you just need to find you're going to have to be creative at this point and find ways to have them want to come back and work with you. So that's the way to keep them around. And what you want to do is make sure that the experience that they're getting with you, especially the first time around, is like the best possible experience you could give them, especially for the first time customers, right? Like, you don't need to be showing up with tights. You just need to show up professional and there to do the job for them and make sure that they know, like, hey, if you come back, there's an incentive to come back to me. Just think about it like that. Like, why would somebody want to do business with you again? Why would you want to do business with another company? And think about all the reasons that you would want to do business with another company. And remember that those are probably the same reasons that they would want to do business again with you. So that's basically the big picture. I don't want to complicate it because it doesn't need to be complicated. And if you're trying to get to that 5K a month, that 10K a month, or just build a real notary business, let me know. Let me know in the comments below, because it's not about taking more random jobs. It's about having the right system behind it. And if you want access to the full system that I use to build a 7-figure notary business, click on the link down below. It's a free training description. If you click on that, you'll be good to go. And there, I'm going to show you how it works. I'm going to show you the back end. I'm going to pull up some numbers live so you can see everything yourself. And as always, stay blessed. I'll see you guys in the next video. I know this helped you guys out, and see you guys when I see you. Peace.